Hi guys, today I'm gonna show you a final version of my ScopeCam, RusBear ScopeCam. I can say that now I'm ready for release and I'm ready to sell this ScopeCam. It's really finished and it works fine. I'm sure that most of the users will be quite satisfied with its quality. It gives very high quality of slow motion, full HD video. It also can record 2K and 4K videos. What do we have here? My air gun, my scope, and my ScopeCam on the scope. And this ScopeCam makes video not from back of the scope. It's not convenient to shoot in this way because you can just record video and cannot make quality shooting during such video recordings. And my ScopeCam allows you to shoot as you usually shoot. You can take your air gun, fix it, look into the scope, make normal quality shooting, and at the same time have very high definition quality slow motion video recorded to the camera. And there are several ScopeCams from GoPro, but it costs about $1,200, and we understand that this device is not for usual users. It's too expensive and not everyone can afford it. My ScopeCam costs 4 times less. This camera consists of 3 parts: front part, central part, and back part. This version of scope camera allows us to make recordings with aqua box, so it's splash and dust proof. Of course, you shouldn't put it into water, but you can normally record videos in rain or dust or in the fields, and that means that your camera will be protected. So we turn the camera on and just shoot as usually shoot. We can see that we can usually shoot and record video at the same time in slow motion up to 120 frames per second in full HD and 240 frames per second in HD quality. Also, this camera has energy saving mode. It turns the screen off to have longer life of the battery. This version differs from my previous version of camera. It has universal camera mount for most of the scopes. So we have central part and of the scope mount and back part where the camera is mounted. You can make horizontal or vertical videos if you wish for your purposes. And we have the front part. It's a new thing for me, but it works fine. It's universal and can be used on different scopes, on most of the scopes. It's my own system of fixing, and it allows to make it really hard, and it's easy to disassemble it. We just have to turn out the back part and get the front part from the scope. Now we've disassembled it. We won't need this air gun anymore here. I'll just show you how to use this. As you can see, there are a lot of scopes on my table to show you how universal my ScopeCam is. As you know, I have huge experience of making videos while shooting through the scope cams from my air guns, and I like to analyze my mistakes during shooting, not to make them in the future. And this very scope cam allows me to shoot and to make high quality shooting and to have high quality video at the same time. Let's take my scope cam and my best scope. It's Bushnell 3.5-21. Let's put it on and fix it. Just turn in the back part of the scope cam mount. We'll make it tight, and don't be afraid because it's strong enough. As you can see, it's fixed really strong there and we cannot get it out. It's quite enough and quite tight to be used during hunting or sport shooting or entertainment shooting. Now we turn the camera on. Of course, we should make some corrections just to have correct horizon in your picture. And this way I've got very near. As you can see, the reticle is on the whole screen. That's quite enough to have good picture. Now I can turn the camera off. Probably you have several cameras and several air guns and several scopes. You can easily disassemble it and set up to another scope to use with another air gun. Let's try to use popular in Russia now scope. It's Chinese Markul scope. Just the same procedure. You put the front part on, you turn the back part of the mount in, and just turn it in, and that'll be enough to fix it hard enough and so it could get nowhere from your scope. It's fine now. It's fixed very well. You can get it nowhere from here, and it means that this construction is very safe. Now just turn the camera on, check the picture, make some corrections if you need it. In this way horizon was not quite correct, so I've made some corrections. And start recording. So we can see that everything goes fine and we can turn it off. My main problems in previous versions was that every scope, even from the same manufacturers, has different diameter of back ocular tube. That means that we could have no one mount, and now I managed to make universal mount that can be used on almost every scope. If all of your scopes has correct dioptric settings, you won't need to change settings of your scope camera. But if you need to put that scope camera to another scope that has another diopters, you can easily tune your camera just to make some corrections. Standard version of camera can make HD quality video with 120 frames per second. It's quite enough for hunting, for sports, for entertainment. It also supports Full HD, 60 frames per second. As you can see, the quality is fine, colors are fine. top version of this camera uses the latest and the most modern technologies and processors. It allows you to record full HD quality, 120 frames per second. Also, you can shoot a video with HD quality, 200 or 240 frames per second. It depends on the version of scope camera you purchase. Usual time of battery life is about 1 hour if to record slow motion video. I've checked it in cold weather. It was about -10 in the street Celsius, and it worked fine for 40 minutes. So battery lifetime is quite enough for all your purposes. You don't have to make your camera record all the time. You can start or stop recording because the button is situated near your head and it's really easy to push it. Now a few answers for frequency asked questions. First question that people ask very often, can we use our own camera on your ScopeCam mount? In most questions you cannot, because I make some technological corrections in camera. I change several parts of the camera, so you can't use general camera. If you want it very much, we can discuss, and I'll try to set your camera to my ScopeCam mount. But your camera should be fine for these purposes. Just it's single situations and we should discuss it. I don't earn with this project and I don't have any profits here. It's just my hobby and my interest. And the second question, if this camera changes the quality of the picture that the shooter sees through the scope. It almost doesn't change any picture. You just has very small lack of contrast. For example, now it's winter and it's night in the street, and if I'd like to go to the forest and shoot crows, I won't have any problems with it because I'll have enough light in my scope. The third question about the weight of this scope camera. Its weight's about 200 grams. That means that you won't have any problems with using it. It's really light. All of my versions of scope camera supports transmitting their video signal via Wi-Fi to your smartphone, tablet. You can also connect it to your big TV with a HDMI cable. I forgot to say about it and to show it to you, so I'll do it right now. First of all, you have to disassemble the scope camera with its mount, then put it onto your scope as we've done before. Turn in the back part of the mount to fix it on the scope. You can use your strength to do it because it will allow you to fix it really tight. Now just we put the camera and turn it on. It's very easy to connect with Wi-Fi to your smartphone or tablet. Turn the camera on, push the up button and activate Wi-Fi. The camera transmits Wi-Fi signal and you can connect to it without any problems or troubles. It's very easy to do. Just find the Wi-Fi network, connect to it and start a special program on your smartphone. It supports iPhones, iOS, Android and Windows Mobile as far as I remember. Now camera connects to smartphone, and we've got the picture. Here you can see, of course, it's dark in my room now, so the picture is not very nice, but you can see that it's clear. Yeah, here's the same situation. I've connected this camera by Wi-Fi to the tablet, and we can see that picture is really sharp, clear, and very good. I've answered most frequently asked questions. And about the price. The price for a standard version of this scope camera is $300 US. It supports Full HD 60 frames per second and HD 120 frames per second. And the price as of today, of course. Top version of this camera supports Full HD 120 frames per second and HD 200 frames per second. Has the price of $425 US as of today. Also, you have special remote control that you can put on your wrist and start recording, make photos and others just by pushing buttons. If you are interested, I'm also open to receive the orders, and you have to make full prepayment, and I'll do it for you. If your scope differs a lot from these ones, or if you have unique scope, I can make special mount especially for your scope. It's also very suitable, fine, strong, and you like it, I'm sure. That's all, guys. Thank you very much for watching. Subscribe my channels, and you'll have very interesting videos very soon. Thanks, bye.